Hello everyone, welcome back to day 13 of our CADvent calendar, and we're back in Autodesk Revit today looking specifically at placing components inside of your model. I've opened up the same model we've been working on throughout the series so far, and what I want to do to begin with is just re-explain something that we did right back at the start in day 1, and that's components inside of Revit are Revit families, RFA files. And no matter what it is that you're placing, whether it's a piece of furniture, a desk, a television on the wall, some air handling equipment on the ceiling, no matter what it is, a component placed in Revit is a Revit family. They're placed in slightly different ways dependent on what it is, but the process is very much the same. From our file, I'm just going to use my project browser on the left-hand side. Remember, that shows all of our different levels and views. And I'm going to go to our ground floor by double-clicking the ground floor floor plan. And the first thing I want to do is show you how we can place some windows. When you're placing specific equipment like windows and doors, we actually have a window and door tool to place these components. And although they are still families, we must go to the Architecture tab, Build panel, and use either the door or window command to place them. Clicking Window, in my type selector drop down just here, I will have a series of different windows, and dependent on your template, depends on which ones are loaded by default. I'm just going to place some of these default ones for this example. So I'm going to select a size like the 910 by 910, and I'm going to come and place one just here on my screen. You can see by hovering over a wall and either moving my mouse upwards or downwards, it allows me to align the exterior or interior face. So I'm going to place a window like so. I'm going to place another of the same configuration of window just here. I'm then going to use my type selector to select a different size to place a bigger window here and here, and finally a much bigger window at the back here and here. Once you've placed those components, identify that you can select them individually. And once you've selected them individually, much like other components in Revit, you can pick up the dimensions, click, and change the measurement. You can also pick up the witness lines, click, hold, and drag, drop that to the external finish face, and measure specifically off the external face if you rather. You can also select any of those windows, excuse me, and change the drop down up here to change the size. You can also look at the specific properties for those components. And components, when you place them, have both instance properties and type properties. To explain that, take these two windows, which we have placed that are the same type. You will notice that if I select this window, it has a mark of 2, an identification number of 2. Whereas this one has a different identification number of 1. I can also change their sill height, so I can make this sill height 500 mm, whereas this sill height remains at 1200. I'm just going to undo that change. Instance parameters can be different across multiple instances of the same type. However, if I select the same window, go to Edit Type to look at its type parameters, I could make a change to something in here, such as the fire rating, for example. So let's come and find the fire rating property under Identity Data. Is there a fire rating property? Not for this family. Okay, we'll pick something else. Let's go ahead and pick the, what can we pick? The manufacturer. So I'm going to change the manufacturer from Revit to Rob's Windows Limited. Why not? Nice company name. I'm going to press Apply and OK. Although the two components are different instances, both components will share the same type properties. So a type parameter is the same across all instances. An instance parameter is different across instances. Gone ahead and added several windows. I'm going to do the same thing with door. So I'm going to click door, but this time I want to load a family. And I have two options. Firstly, I can click load family on the modify place dropdown. This will take me to my default family installation folder where I can go ahead and search for doors, external doors, and I can go ahead and pick one of the external doors here and load it in. That will load that door into my family and place it in my type selector. We can also, from the insert, import families from online by clicking Load Autodesk Family. This search is an online service by Autodesk and allows me to go ahead and search for specific components, such as a door. I can put that search down to external door, and I can find more families online, pick the one that I'm after, and load it into the project. I'm going to pick that door and place it down as an external door into my model just here. I'm then going to change my view and look at this internal door and just place a couple randomly in my model, like so. Placing doors and windows inside of Revit is really straightforward. It's quick and it's easy. Let's just pick a slightly different size and place one just here. As well as placing windows and doors, we can also place other components by using the component tool. This will also allow you to load different families. Let's go ahead and load, but this time using the online load tool to load Autodesk Family, manually searching through the categories. So let's go and clear my search, change my category to look specifically at furniture. From furniture, I'm going to go ahead and look at seating, and I'm going to go ahead and find a simple sofa and load that into my model. From there, I can use my space bar to rotate around. If I'm hovering over a curved surface, I can use my space bar to align to that curved surface. Hover over to align over any individual component and then click to place down into your model. Components will be placed aligned to the level that you have selected. Finally, I'm going to select this window, right-click and choose to select all instances in my entire project. That's going to select all instances of that component throughout the project. We can also do the same thing to select all instances in any individual view. What I'm doing is selecting all of the doors and windows in here apart from the front door. I'm then going to go to the clipboard panel of my modify toolbar and click copy. I'm then going to go to my default 3D view. From my modify panel, I'm going to use the drop down underneath paste and choose to paste these components aligned to the first floor. If you get an error, it's likely because you've done something a little bit silly like I have. I don't have internal walls on my first floor, so my doors have been ignored. But Revit won't place them without a host. So it's done something sensible for me, warned me that it can't paste them, but it has given me instances of the windows on the outside of my building. Let's go ahead and save the file with Ctrl and S or the save icon on the quick access toolbar. And that is it for day 13 of our CADvent calendar. Join us tomorrow for Autodesk Inventor, but for Revit, we'll be back in 2 days' time where we look at how we can add a staircase into our tutorial building. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.